Sairam students, today's literature class will begin with a new poem, and the name of the poem is Animals, which is written by Walt Whitman. Now, Walt Whitman was born in the year 1819 and he passed away in the year 1892, and he happened to be a major figure in the early American poetry. He broke the tradition of rhymed and metrical poetry. He was famous for writing a revolutionary kind of poetry which was in free verse. The poem Animals is from his work Song of Myself in Leaves of Grass. So basically, he was the one who gave a new kind of poetry that was in free verse. So what's a free verse? Basically, wherein we don't have any kind of rhyme scheme. There are no rhyming words towards the end. So such poems are called as free verse poems. Let us see what this poem is all about. Walt Whitman has shown the comparison between human beings and animals in his poem. He has pointed out the evils present inside the human brain, which he thinks animals don't have. That is why he thinks that animals are much, much better than human beings. So he is saying he's comparing human beings with animals. And he says that it's easy to stay with animals. Why? Because human beings, they have a lot of vices. They have a lot of negative things in them. Whereas the animals, they are very pure. They don't have all these negative feelings they don't have within themselves. So he says he is more comfortable staying with animals than with human beings. Let us see what this poem is all about. In the poem, the poet has described his will to become an animal because he thinks animals are far better than human beings. Why? Because human beings are greedy and full of jealousy. Yes, we have taught you, human wants, they don't come to an end. If one want is satisfied, the other one crops in. And he says that people are jealous of each other. They cannot see anybody else happy. So when that happens, they feel very jealous of that particular person. But animals are calm and self-contained. Animals are happy with what they have, and they never complain about their miseries and sorrows. On the other hand, human beings complain about their miseries. They give more importance to rich and strong people, stay restless because of their wrongdoings, and run behind the luxurious things of this world. So yes, human beings, they just complain. If they have 10 things and don't get that one particular thing, they will complain that they have not got that thing. So they keep complaining to God that why you have deprived me of that one particular thing also. And if you see, in human society, there is, more importance is given to rich and strong people. Also, human beings are very restless, after doing wrong things. And they also run behind luxurious life. Nobody wants to live a normal life. Everybody dreams of having a luxurious life. Whereas animals are honest about their relations and don't give importance to any particular class. They live a life which is full of honesty and less of greed and jealousy. So animals are way better than human beings. This is what the poet is trying to tell us. So I'll just read the poem first and then I'll give you the explanation of each and every line. Animals, I think I could turn and live with animals. They are so placid and self contained. I stand and look at them long and long. They do not sweat and whine about their condition. They do not lie awake in the dark and weep for their sins. They do not make me sick discussing their duty to God. Not one is dissatisfied, not one is demented with the mania of owning things. Not one kneels to another, nor to his kind that lived thousands of years ago. Not one is respectable or unhappy over the whole earth. So they show their relations to me, and I accept them. They bring me tokens of myself, they evince them plainly in their possession. I wonder where they get those tokens. Did I pass that way huge times ago and drop them and negligently drop them? By Walt Whitman. So students, just keep a book and a paper ready so that if any important points, if any important words you feel you should write them down, please do that. Okay, let us begin with the explanation part of this poem. I think I could turn and live with animals. They are so placid and self contained. I stand and look at them long and long. So, what does placid mean? It means calm, or you can say it means peaceful. And what is contained? Keep up control, satisfied, self contained. Now, here the poet tries to say that he wants to live in the world of animals, and here we can see that the poet finds the world of animals better than that of human beings. He further says that he finds animals more peaceful than human beings. Like I told you before, students, here he is comparing human beings and animals, and he feels that human beings are more peaceful than animals. Now, why does he say so? He says so because animals are not running after worldly things like human beings. They are calm and have no greed for worldly things or any kinds of achievement. They are self contained, which means they are happy with their life and they don't even bother to interfere in anybody else's life. Now, if he says that animals, they are not running behind worldly things like how we human beings do. Our wants keep on multiplying. If one want is satisfied, the other one crops in. So he says that as human beings, we are greedy. We are greedy for what? We are greedy for worldly things. We are greedy for any kind of achievement. Achievement, a good achievement, yes, everybody is greedy for it. We are not happy with what we have. We are not self-contained. And also he says that animals, they don't have this habit of interfering in anybody else's life. And human beings, yes, everybody interferes in anybody else's life, which is very bad. So he says that it is very comfortable to live in this world with animals, but it's difficult to stay with human beings. So he thinks that animals are better than human beings for being calm and not interfering in the matters of others. He further says that these are the reasons why he stands and looks at animals for very, very long time. So he says that I just keep staring at these animals and I wonder how calm they are, how self-contained they are. And we as human beings, we are not that way. We are greedy. We are jealous of others, which is very wrong. Further, he says, they do not sweat and whine about their condition. They do not lie awake in the dark and weep for their sins. They do not make me sick discussing their duty to God. Not one is dissatisfied, not one is demented with the mania of owning things. So, what does sweat mean? Let's not take the literal meaning of sweat here. Sweat over here means, to complain. Whine is to cry. Then sins is, you do something wrong. It's called as a sin. And demented is disturbed or mad. The poet says that unlike humans, animals don't complain of any kind of misery. If they are sad, they don't complain about it to anyone. They keep it to themselves. They don't cry out loud like humans do to show what they have lost. Okay, so they don't have this habit of showing the world around that they have lost something. So if you see, when he's saying something positive about animals, it is completely opposite when it comes to human beings. Human beings have this habit of, showing the world around that they have lost something. They'll just keep on telling people around them that they have lost something. They never stay awake in the night crying in repentance for their wrongdoing. So animals, they don't stay awake at night, to regret what they have done. Whereas human beings, they have this tendency of, staying awake the whole night and crying in repentance for whatever they have done. This means that animals are different from human beings because they do not show anger or grief when something wrong happens with them. He further says that animals are very truthful because they never boast of their good deeds done in the name of God. So he says that animals don't have this habit of boasting, and yes, human beings do have. If someone does any kind of charity, he'll make the whole world know about it, that he has donated some amount. Yes, students, again I would like to say not everyone is the same. There are few exceptions also. But yes, most of them, they love to boast. So he says that animals don't have this habit of boasting about their good deeds. He says so because most of the human beings, they do this. Do what? They boast. They try to show their good deeds and religiousness to others. And why do they do this? Just to gain popularity among their fellows. So the poet thinks that animals never irritate him by doing such things just to gain some praise from their fellow people. Animals don't do all these things. Poet is trying to tell us, he gets very irritated when human beings, they boast about their work. When human beings boast about their charity. So he gets very angry. Why does someone have to boast? Why does someone has to boast? Sorry. So he says it is incorrect. It is not correct. Animals don't do this, but yes, human beings, they do boast. He feels that animals are not dissatisfied like humans. They stay happy with whatever they have. They never run behind worldly things. They never try to possess things of comfort or luxury. Animals don't say, I want to have a car, I want to have a big house, I want to have a nice bathroom with a bathtub. Animals don't say all these things. But yes, human beings, they want to have a nice house, a big car, or, a well furnished house for that matter. So human beings, they run behind comfort and luxury, whereas animals, they don't do that. He says that none of them is mad behind owning worldly things. Nobody, none of the animal is crazy, for owning worldly things. Nobody, no animal wants worldly pleasures. They're not greedy. After one house, they want to buy another house and another car and the third car and the fourth car. No, animals are not that way. Whereas human beings, if they have money, yes, they would love to buy worldly things. Let's proceed. Not one kneels to another, nor to his kind that lived thousands of years ago. Not one is respectable or unhappy over the whole earth. So they show their relations to me and I accept them. They bring me tokens of myself, they evince them plainly in their possession. So, what is kneeling down? Kneeling down means to bow down. It's not talking about the punishment, they're talking about the act of bowing down. So here you can see a person who is bowing down. So he says, not one kneels. No, you cannot find any animal kneeling down in front of any other animal, nor to, any ancestor of that particular animal. So let's see the explanation part. Before that, the hard word. Evince means to show or to reveal. Possession means ownership of something. When you own something, which means you possess that particular thing. Here the poet says that he has never seen any animal showing his devotion to anyone by bowing down in front of a person. So animals don't have this habit of bowing down. They never do so even for their ancestors. They do not show devotion towards God like humans do. No one among them is more respectable or important as we have in human society. So, in animals, everyone is treated the same. It's not that one particular animal has more respect in their society and the other animal has less respect. Everybody is equally respected when we speak about the world of animals. So, when we see the human society, here we see the rich are more, they are given more importance. Let's just read. In human beings, rich people are generally given more importance and are treated with more respect as compared to the poor. So yes, rich people who have a lot of power, they are given more respect in this society, whereas the poor person is neglected. But in the society of animals, they never do so. They never give more or less importance to any other animal. Everyone in the animal world is happy. They are not like human beings who find themselves the happiest or the saddest person on this earth. So everybody in the animal kingdom is happy. But in this human world, we find some who are very happy and some who are sad. Further, the poet says that animals are more honest in showing their relation with other animals. Here he wants to say that animals, they use other animals for their food. Okay. He says these animals who kill other animals for their food, they don't hide this. It's open to everyone that one particular carnivore animal is killing another animal for his food. So all of us know this. Whereas human beings show that they have a nice and friendly relation with others, though the reality is opposite. So we try to be good in front of a particular person, and the moment the person leaves, we tend to speak wrong about that particular person. Again, students, I would like to say, not every human being is, the same way. There are exceptions. So he says that most of the human beings, what they do, they try to show that, they have a very nice and a friendly relation with others. But the reality is completely opposite. The poet says that he accepts the fact that animals are true towards their relation with other animals. I wonder where they get those tokens. Did I pass that way huge times ago and negligently drop them? So what are these tokens? Tokens are basically the positive things that a particular person had, the qualities of a person basically. Qualities like sincerity, honesty, kindness. Okay, he feels that it was once upon a time human beings used to possess all these qualities, but now they don't possess these qualities. These qualities are possessed by animals. And from where have these animals got those tokens? Is it that we have passed it to them negligently, like carelessly we have dropped them and they have picked it up from there? So he feels that, he's wondering from where these animals have got these tokens, these qualities of patience, of calmness, of self-contained. From where have they got these qualities? Let's just read the explanation part. So at last the poet introspects himself and says that from where the animals got those good qualities. He further questions himself where his own good qualities are gone. Where are his own good qualities? Did he leave them, or or he has carelessly dropped them or carelessly lost them? The qualities that were found in human beings in the past, like innocence, kindness, truthfulness, are now seen in animals. He wonders that animals gave up these qualities. He wonders that human beings gave up these qualities and they have been passed on to the animals. So he says that the qualities that once human beings possessed are now being possessed by the animals. So that's it for this particular class, students. What we have seen is basically a comparison done between human beings and the animals. And the poet over here says that he is more comfortable staying in the world of animals than in the world of human beings. So that's it for today, students. I'll meet you in the next class. Don't forget to click on the link that has come with this video. I'll see you in the next class. Till then, students, you will take care of yourselves. Sai Ram and bye-bye.